Hey guys, it's Caroline, career and leadership coach. And today I want to quickly pop into this group and into my community and making this video because I spoke to a potential client a couple of days ago. And so she had 3 informal interviews or coffee catch-ups through Zoom. And she didn't get to the second round. She didn't get the job. And so she didn't know what was wrong. And when I told her there is no such thing as an informal interview or just a coffee catch up so I can get to know you, those are things that people fall in the habit of, to actually let their guard down and think like, okay, this is not an interview, but actually it is. Because here's the thing, why there is no such thing as an informal interview. It is because at the end of it, people make a judgment call whether or not to go to the next step, the next stage with you, to interview you for a second time, to offer you the role. So that informal meeting, catch up, coffee catch up, whatever it is basically used to understand whether or not you're capable of doing the job that they want you to do, that you are good enough, that you are qualified enough, and so on. So the biggest mistake that I see people make with catch-ups like that is that they think it's informal and therefore they don't need to prepare because the person just wants to get to know them. Now, at this stage, if they don't know your reputation, if they are not referred to you or have worked with you before, and you need to make the best first impression, then you need to follow a certain structure in the interview. You just can't wing it and give away the processes, only the ABC process that you do in any given job. No, you have to give the confidence that you can do the job and that you can exceed performing any responsibilities or anything that they want you to do. So you have to show up in your best form. You have to articulate exactly what you can do. So there's a couple of things that I want to highlight in this process also, because like I said, what I want you to do is be prepared for an informal interview or a Zoom coffee catch up, or even if in some parts of Australia, a real coffee catch up. So first of all, if the person doesn't know you, you have to realize that they have a problem that needs solving. That's why they spend like half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes in a catch up with you. They have a problem. If you just talk randomly or talk about just the skills and experience you have, you're not really giving them the idea about what you can do, what sets you apart. You're not connecting the dots for them. And so you're expecting them to do that. And that's not how it works. So the best way to connect the dots for them and to give them the confidence that you are suitable for the position and can exceed whatever targets or whatever they want you to achieve is by giving examples, by giving proof. And you might say, sure, Caroline, that's normal. You would be surprised how many people don't do that, because you might be asked the question like, yeah, have you done this? Have you done a lot of stakeholder management through your career? Yeah, I've done it. I worked with the executive, CEO, with technical experts. Yeah, definitely. And managed agencies and blah, blah, blah. But the problem here is that you're just explaining a process, and probably the same explanation that other people that go for that same informal catch up will also say. So it's not setting you apart, and it's a trap people fall into time and time again, whether it's an informal interview or formal interview. They just explain processes because people are not really overly experienced in interviewing. Actually, let me rephrase that. Yes, they're experienced in interviewing, but they don't have really interview skills that will move the dial, that will change the outcome, and that will give them information that's good. So most interviewers, and I've like trained a lot of people, but initially they say like, Caroline, I just follow my gut instinct. I know what to ask. I have done this for 10, 20 years. I know how to interview. But actually they don't know how to interview because they don't ask questions that give them information about past behavior, about information about examples, unless they ask. So a lot of people would just like ask questions about the processes, like how would you go about this and how would you do that, and which is good because you can demonstrate the process, but then you also how you have to give confidence, and how you give confidence is by giving an example, proving that you have done it in the past, because that will indicate that you can do that in the future. So bringing it back to the original thing that I said is, don't be fooled by an informal, or that they say it's an informal catch up and just like get to know you. Always be prepared. Be prepared in the people that you're going to meet, the problem that you're going to solve. Have an idea about how your experience is going to be linked to their problem, so that you don't only give examples, because if those examples don't resonate with the other person about their individual situation, again, it's not going to work. So you need to be looking at your career history, looking at everything that you have done, and think about, okay, from everything, what is very close to their situation, to what they want to achieve. And then you can link that, and then you can actually write down all the examples that you have, and think about, okay, these are the things that I have to make sure that I insert into that informal catch-up, so that they can, at the end of it, can make an informed decision to take you to the next stage or not. Because what you don't want to do is say the same things about the outline of a process that other candidates will also do. Because people at your level, they all have the capability to perform the job. And this is another thing that people don't really like think about, is like, if you get invited to an interview, they're not going to waste 45 minutes and just to get to know you because they want to be your best friend. They're inviting you because they have a problem that they want solving, and they hope that you can solve that problem. But by just giving an overview of the process, you're just showing your capability, but you're not proving that you actually can solve that problem. So, and that could be like questions like, oh, tell me more how you do stakeholder management. Tell me more how you manage your campaigns. Tell me more about how you track performance, and so on. And even though that question might sound innocent and you just answer that, and at the end of the interview, you think, I nailed it. I answered every single question that they wanted me to answer. But it's not about your ability to answer the question. It's about your ability to make sure that you are able to give that confidence, and confidence you give by giving examples that are very closely related. So what I want you to take away from this video is that there is no such thing as an informal interview. There is no such thing as just a coffee catch-up. If there is a real job, then it is an assessment, and they will use that time to assess if you are suitable and good candidate to go to the next level. And so if you have somebody that ever says to you like, oh, it's going to, you don't need to prepare too much, it's just going to be informal, just like alarm bell, because now you know better. Now you have seen this video, and now you have heard this message, and now you'll say like, I will not fall in that trap. I will be prepared. So I hope this inspired you and helps you prepare a little bit for your informal interviews, because now you know there's no such thing. If we are not connected, please connect with me on LinkedIn. I embrace the platform as a platform to network with people, and the more people I can reach and spread my message, the more people I can help transform their job search and transform their career. Now, one last thing, if you are looking for help with interviewing, because a lot of people that I work with, they get interviews, they get maybe the first interview, but not actually the job offer. If you're one of them, it's a highly competitive market, and I can understand you don't want to F it up. You want to be very bringing your A game. So this means that you might need to learn different skills because the job market has changed. The whole industry has changed. So you need to change your approach too. And so if you need to work on your interview skills, reach out to me. What I do with my clients is I do interview training so that they can get used at answering those questions. Because to be honest, interviewing is a skill, and a skill you can learn. But the only way you learn something is by practice, 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 practice. So it's like riding a bike. You can't learn to ride a bike just by reading a book or watching it on YouTube. No, you have to get out there, you have to pedal around, and you have to fall a couple of times, and then by the end of it you can write without hands. So, and that's the same with interviewing. Interviewing is like a muscle you have to train, and you have to learn new skills with it, because it's a whole new way of looking at yourself, behaving in the interview, and actually performing and navigating the interview so you can position yourself as the obvious candidate at the end of the process. So if you want to hear more and talk to me about that, please feel free to reach out, and I'm more than happy to talk you through it. I hope this helped, and